So Afghanistan, as I imagine you know, is a very young country. Half of the population is actually below 14, so half of the country is actually teenagers, and 60–70% of the population is like 20 in their 20 or younger. So you're talking about an incredibly young population, and many of them have grown up in post-2001 Afghanistan. At least they came to their own in post-2001 Afghanistan, at a time where there was a free media. They could express themselves more or less freely. They grew up feeling like they have at least the power to express themselves. How much that power was actually channeled into actual policy, state being responsive to what they want, I think that's a different question, and that could be talked about also because we are talking about political scientists. If you have increased political awareness of the rights, and at the same time you have an unresponsive political system, you're just going to create dissatisfaction with the system. You're not going to have you're not going to institutionalize a sense of a democratic system. That's my sense of what actually happened. There was a study that came out of Afghanistan Institute for Strategic Studies, and they were surveying university students across Afghanistan, and they were asking them basic questions about their issues on religion, the role of religion in society. They were trying to get a sense of how extremism is prevalent in Afghanistan universities and among the educated class of Afghanistan. The numbers were shocking. The majority were more aligned with extremist ideas, and that tend to be intolerant, that tend to lead kind of lend justification to a use of violence as a way of transforming society. I see that as just an expression of that frustration with a politically active population, a population that has a way to raise its voice, talk to others. I mean, when someone has an issue in Afghanistan, everyone becomes aware of them. It's not that it's not the information space, as Muska said, is filled with disinformation and misinformation, but it's still a very open and dynamic space. So you have this sense of awareness of what's going on, and people are expressing this with young people in many different ways. But at the same time, we've had a very unresponsive political system, and we continue to do. We have a political system that has not been responsive to its population, incredibly ineffective, corruption to the core of the system, and also a system that has not really opened up a place for new voices. Afghanistan's, if you look at the political figures that are involved in Afghanistan today, the people are sitting in the High Peace Council, the people who were sitting in Doha negotiating. They are the same figures as the Afghanistan Civil War. I mean, literally same people, or their children. In cases of some of them getting old, they just send over their children in their place. Literally a dynasty. So I would say that we have a frustrated young population who's looking also for alternative systems, alternative ways of expression. And sadly, some of them may find affinity with more radical and more undemocratic ways of governing a society.